Man, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Man, Bauni Yankee, eh? That's your country.
Yeah, Yankee is fine. It's a bit sunny. I think the sun is going down.
What state are you in?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay, man, that's the desert.
Yeah, but it's very snowy. Yeah, people always think when I tell them I couldn't go out because of snowstorm and all of that.
Yeah,
it's not all Arizona that is all part of Arizona that is hot also. No. This place is very, very cold. The part of Arizona, this part of Arizona is very cold. But Phoenix is the state capital, so it's hot there. Whenever I go to Phoenix, if I'm putting on jacket from my city here, Flagstaff, and I get to Phoenix, I'll put off the jacket. So,
wow.
Yeah. Wow. Phoenix is hot.
Wow. Man, thank you for coming on the podcast.
It's good that we're able to find a time.
Yes. You see, I've been looking to talk to scientists, mathematicians like you, because to me, I believe that we need to encourage more and more of our young people to get into science, mathematics. See, in Africa, technology is now the thing. Okay, everybody wants to get into tech. Okay, and I tell people that tech is good, very good, but if we don't start getting into the basic science, okay, now maybe in 20 years we'll be relying on the developed countries to feed us with the raw materials for our tech. Okay, look at what's going on with China and chips. Yeah, that's an example of it. Okay, so if we actually want to develop our continent the way we say we want to, then we need to get into the basic science. Anyway, Carrie, my audience don't know who I'm even talking to. Okay. So help me tell my audience who you are and what you do.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Kayode Oshinubi. I'm a Nigerian, and I was born in Lagos. I've lived most part of my life in Lagos, and I did my BSc and my master's in Nigeria in mathematics. Major in mathematics for my BSc and minor in statistics. And for my master's, it was more of an applied mathematics to vibration mechanics. So, but for my PhD, which I did in France, it's basically applied maths to infectious disease. Most especially it was motivated because of the global pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic that we have. So I'm an applied mathematician. Like I always tell people that I'm an applied mathematician that is making sure that our world is a better place, to live in by ensuring that we do some predictive and we model diseases, infectious diseases. Yeah, and currently I'm a researcher doing my postdoctoral research here as an employee of Northern Arizona University in the United States. Of course, I'm working on infectious disease modeling, but this time around we are trying to work on how to localize response to diseases. So we are using what we call spatial modeling. Spatial modeling is, taking into consideration, these diseases in terms of their locality. Let's take for instance in Lagos, we have.
Karen, leave that one. We'll get into it as we
get
into the conversation.
Of the whole thing. Okay, yeah. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm recently we had just last week, and that was why we couldn't do this last week.
Yes.
We hosted a conference on what we call predictive modeling for public health. So we worked closely with public health who cannot use mathematics and statistics to to do some prediction to guide their policy. So we do all this for public health experts policymakers, to be able to guide them. And that's why we do all this modeling using mathematical and statistical tools.
Okay. All right. See, Kayode, mathematics is one of the feared subjects, to many people many youths in the world, including Nigeria and other African countries. It's but interestingly, mathematics may be the foundation of our universe and life. So to understand everything around us, we need to appreciate maths. Okay. When I was in secondary school, I wasn't very good at maths. But after I left school, I got more interested in maths, And today I listen to the icons, some of the icons in maths, I just listened to it, 2 hours conversation with Edward Witten yesterday, and then Roger Penrose. I loved the conversation with Penrose, particularly because it was around something I am very interested in, consciousness. So maths, like you said, you guys use it to predict things, okay? And it can predict virtually, if we know how to use it, it can predict virtually everything, So I hope that talking to you today would interest more of young Africans to even explore maths at all. Okay. So please tell my audience about how you got into maths. Okay. You had a first degree, master's degree, PhD maths, but people like you are few. Okay. Yeah. So tell my audience your journey, how you got into maths, and
Yeah, I think I finished secondary school at 17, and then jam me very well for like 3 years. And then when I finally got a chance to go to the university, because of the 3 years that I've stayed at home, I was skeptical. My parents want me to study medicine, and I don't like biology. I don't like biology. So number two, I was skeptical. The next thing I like was I wanted to do something using calculation.
Okay.
Because I like calculation, and then I wanted to do something that will involve calculation. So I was thinking, if I go for engineering, engineering is 5 years.
Yes.
So I was like, with my age, I'll be older before I leave. with also strike and all of that. At the back of your mind, you have to when you look at all of that. So I now felt that I don't really like physics, even though I'm a mathematician. Physics is applied mathematics, but yes. I don't really like physics. So I said, okay, let me go and do mathematics. Let's see how it goes. Even though my parents were like, what are you, being a mathematician, what are you going to do with it? A lot of people felt that you're going to be just an ordinary teacher in the secondary school. And with mathematics, I've traveled the world. I've been in so many places, and it's always, people are always they look at me and they're always, because I felt that you have to just define who you are, who you want to be, and with the help of God, you can get there. So then I got to the university. I had issues in my first year because I was doing chemistry. So my first year really told me that I didn't make a wrong choice, because all my 2 mathematical courses I was doing in the first semester and in the second semester I did 3. I had A's in in I think all of them. I think it's the only one I had. So I knew I didn't make a wrong choice. That
Yes.
The least grade I had was in physics that I just told you that I don't like. I had an E, and that's the only E I had on campus. I had E in physics 102 in my second semester 100 level, and that's the only E I had till I finished. So
what school did you go to? What school?
Ekene State University.
Okay.
Formerly called UNAD.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, I knew. So my CGPA got better when I got to 200 level. When you get to 200 level, you have dropped all these general courses. Then 300 level, you are more focused on the mathematics. So my CGPA got better. Also, I felt I was leading the class till almost second semester 400 level because I was doing student unionism. So the kind of setback for me because I was doing a lot of meetings, campaigning, and all of that. So somebody was a bit ahead of me in class. So that was what motivated. Of course, I didn't know that I'm going to be in academics, but when I go to the university, I like the four wall of the university, and I said, "Oh, I think this place is meant for me. I think I should do something in academia." And that's when I wanted to do my NYSC. I did it in the university. I lectured in the university. So, and from then, my career trajectory started from there. And I said, okay, let me go for my master's. And then I just like the four wall of the university. I wanted to, even though I'm out of class for a very long time now.
Yeah. As a researcher,
I've been doing research. So, and like I wrote a few days ago, I said, I don't think I missed the classroom, because teaching in this part of the world is a bit stressful than teaching in Nigeria. So that was how I begin. When I got to the university under level, I begin to fall in love with the university setting, and I chose to be in academia, even though there have been some temptation to go into the industry and all of that. So what I believe is that interest sometimes develop along the line. While you are just going up, you just I didn't have this vision that there was a day I told one of my lecturers, I said, I didn't come to the university. She wanted me to graduate with a first class in my PhD. And I told her, I wasn't here to get a first class. I don't have that kind of ambition. Yes, that I'm here to serve the people. Because she was like, you are doing student unionism. If you are brilliant, and of course I can have a first class. Yes, because I finished with 4.26 at the end of the day. And the person that was ahead of me finished with 4.30. You can see it's just 4.30.
Very close, very close.
Very close, yeah. So I had the potential, but because I said, I don't feel fulfilled.
Well, I would tell you.
I think maybe in the course of this conversation, you will know that it is not only academia that is my interest.
No, I would tell you.
Politics is also part of my interest.
If you have done your first degree in the West, you would have had a first class.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have. Because see, your lecturers, once they see your potentials, they will pull you in. See, they will tell you all the things you can do with it. And once you know those things, you'll be more focused.
And in my master's, I had a decision because I didn't do any student unionism. In my master's, I was just doing book and I was traveling, so I didn't really. So I had a decision in my master's. So for me, I believe that interest. I know sometimes your interest can change, but sometimes when you get to a particular place, you kind of develop strong interest. My student unionism, loving leadership, loving politics, did not even really start in the university. It started from the secondary school. So everything is because I was senior prefect of my secondary school.
Okay.
In my SS3, so I was senior prefect of my secondary school, and then I served in the leadership of the church, being teenagers president in the local zone. And all of that. I was the first Korean then. So and then in the university too, I served in being the speaker of the house, stuff.
Okay. See, one thing is this. Many of us back home who were science students, most of us wanted to do medicine, pharmacy, or engineering.
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay. This is what I want to say on this podcast. engineering, medicine, when it comes to sciences, are second class to mathematics and number one, physics.
Mm-hmm.
See, in the West, physics is number one science subject in the world, and then followed closely by his twin brother or twin sister for mathematics.
Yes,
those two are the fulcrum of technology. Those two. So engineering, medicine are subjects that uses the work of physics and maths to do things.
Yes, of course.
That's it. See, so young Africans, if you want to do something to help progress Africa, and you are in the sciences, maths, physics, chemistry, biology are the thing, are the tools, are the most important tools. The best students in science should focus on these subjects. The second class, I'm using that word deliberately, second class science students can go for medicine, pharmacy, and engineering, because that's what happens in the rest of the world. The second class science students go for medicine, pharmacy, engineering. The first class students go for maths and physics. That's it. Now, I didn't know that when I was growing up. I would have done a lot more, because I studied biochemistry. And how did I get there? I wanted to study medicine. You know? So I'm just saying, based on my personal life journey and what I know today, you know? So, yeah. So, Kayode, now, what do you think educators should do to encourage our youth to do more maths?
I taught for 6 years before I traveled to the country, and what I've seen is that we are not teaching it the way we should teach it. Whenever I want to teach calculus, when I say differentiation and integration,
yes,
if I go to that class, I will tell them that this new student that is coming into this class, it simply means integration. It's entering, it's integrated into the class.
Into the class.
That is the simple definition of integration. Before going into the rigor of using the integration by parts, integration of trigonometry function, and then it becomes so complicated and all of that. But you have to start from a real life example. So one of the things our teachers, our lecturers that are teaching math in our country has failed to do is doing this, showing that mathematics it happens in real life.
Yeah.
You are coming from your home. You are coming from your home to the classroom. You have done differentiation. You have covered a distance. You go to the market. You pay for a goods and they give you a change. It's differentiation. So these are real life examples, which we are not. Yes, there are some part of math that are abstract, like the algebra, the topological analysis, some part of numerical analysis can look so, like some part of linear algebra can look so boring. And then one of the things we need to, a lot of them want to go into tech.
Yes.
You need to make them understand. Like I always say, I taught a lot in, majorly I've not really been in the Department of Mathematics. Okay. Most times, because I'm a multidisciplinary person. I'm mostly like, I'm in the School of informatics, computing, and cyber system.
Yeah.
There was a time I was in the Department of Computer Science. So I was seeing the computer science student linear algebra. And they were saying, oh, what I'm teaching, linear algebra is more of matrices.
Yeah.
The what I'm teaching is, I now said, sit down. The bedrock of data science is in linear algebra, is in matrices. All you do in your data analysis, in your machine learning, is the foundation is the matrices. So when they see the reason to do all of this, when you have system of equations, you can turn it into matrices. Matrices is very powerful in mathematics, and a lot of them don't know. And if you have a system of equations, I always said, when you have these equations, like you have 4 or 5 equations, you can turn it into a matrices. And then you apply your idea of matrix algebra by calculating the determinant or whatever, to get to infer some solution from the one of the things we must do.
What you're saying now is this: we need to teach maths in a more functional way.
Let it look more real. People have this kind of abstract.
Yes.
Let them see. Let them see where they can apply it to. When people see that this thing is applicable somewhere, they give a kind of rapt attention. Right? They will be able to listen. They want to go into tech now. You are telling them that linear algebra is important. Everybody want to pass that course.
Well,
you are just proving. You are just saying theorem, lemma, and proofs, and you are not telling them. They will say, "What is the need of all of this?"
see, my second daughter, she's going to do her O-level, we call GCSE in the UK this next in 2 months, and her best subject it's maths. So I've been trying to encourage her, and that's what she's going to also do in A-levels in A-levels. Yes. So so see, our youths need to get more into maths, because it's applicable everywhere in life, and we need to actually help them see how important, and maybe not easy for most of us, but as when we make it more functional to people, maybe more of our youths will now get interested to actually know and understand the subject. Mm-hmm. So that's actually what I'm hoping that we can entice.
One of the key things also we are missing is that we need to let our teachers must understand that they must also appear to be simple.
Yes.
The subject itself is difficult. Don't appear too difficult in the classroom.
Yeah.
Don't let people see you as a sadist. Let people see you as appear the subject. The math is not, for me, math is the simplest subject in life. But I understand that people find it difficult. For me, it comes as a gift for me. I don't really read. In my colleagues, they will tell you that if you compare yourself with Kayode, you will fail. And that's it. If not because I was course rep in the university, I didn't even know where the library is located. Anything I can't read on my table, for me, it doesn't make sense. Why in the library, man? Yeah. Because what is my logic? I'm always in class. I do all assignments. I do all tests. I get all those. So if I'm in class and I'm listening, I take notes. Don't teach me something. I will know it more than you. There was a course I did during my master's, and somebody taught me, because I was, I told you I was traveling a lot in my master's. Somebody taught me, and I got more than that person. I was the highest in that course. And the guy was, after when he taught me, I said, look at you. Don't just teach me. When you teach me something, I will know it more than you. So for me, maths is natural for me.
Yeah.
But I know it's difficult. So when you go to the class, so I think for our audience that are teachers, that are lecturers, they must also appear to be, simple, friendly. Don't appear to, something is something a lot of people don't like. So appear simple, and then so that they can develop interest in it.
Yeah.
Because you know, interest matters. If they don't have interest in it, it's a whole lot of problem. There is no gain in having you taught a class of 40 students and 30 fails. It's not a pride, really. You have failed as a teacher or as a lecturer.
Exactly.
But you think that it shows that my course is hard. It shows that it's not easy. No,
see, it's the mentality that some of our teachers back home have. You know, see, the job of a teacher is to teach the students in a manner that they will develop more interest in the subject and learn it as more than that they can use it in their lives, you know, rather than to make people afraid of subjects. And that's what some of our, especially science teachers, unfortunately, back home, at least in my time, I had some very good teachers, but we also had some that wanted to make their subjects look hard to dissuade the lower level students in the subject, and it's not good. We want more people to do this subject, be excited about them, so we can have more of the people who want to get into maths, physics, medicine, and engineering, you know. So in our earlier conversation, communication, I was curious about your work in, you know, after we talked, I looked at your profile, and I was curious about your modeling work. It seems that something that can be applied in several areas of life, okay, and in our countries. Now, during the pandemic, I was talking to some of our friends, and we're debating this thing about what Mr. Gates said one time, that that he and the people are working to identify the next pandemic. And some people were angry that it seems he's interested in bringing pandemics. And I try to tell people that, hey, he's only saying what is sure to happen, okay? The stats tells you another pandemic will happen, okay? Because that is what has always happened. Now we have the tools. So he's trying to use statistical modeling and other things to identify those pandemics when they begin to happen, so that we can nip it in the bud, okay? So maybe that's what you are doing. So please explain a little bit of your work in modeling.
When it comes to mathematical modeling, it has different branches. One of the branch I'm doing is the one I'm doing is just one of it, you know, and you cannot really model this thing mathematically or statistically without having a background knowledge of it.
Okay.
And that's why before we model, you must read, you must know the behavior of the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you want to model this gun issue in the United States.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One, there are data. You have to look into data, how the data behaves. What are the things that are should I add a kind of psychological factor into the model? So what are the chain of, attacks? Should I have different compartments when they go and shoot in the church, in the club, like that. So when it comes to COVID-19 pandemic, there is a way the disease is spread. COVID-19 is different from measles.
Yeah.
In measles, when you get measles and recover, you are immune.
Yeah.
COVID-19 is not like that. So there is a parameter in COVID-19 modeling. I'm just trying to.
I was infected twice, so I understand.
Yeah. So you can see that you must have this fundamental knowledge.
Yeah.
Because there is a way you can introduce immunity in the model.
Yeah.
So, and there's a way you can connect. Everybody is susceptible to the disease.
Yeah.
So what we normally do is there is a standard. There's a standard model.
Yeah.
Which was developed in 17 something or so.
Yeah.
By McCandrell. So we call it SIR model, or what we call SI model. It has been extended. In my PhD thesis also, we have a kind of extension. So you have what we call susceptible, and there's a link between susceptible and the recovered. And then there's a link between the recovered and maybe if somebody died. There's a link between susceptible and infected, and then infected to recover. And probably somebody died, of course. And this diagram, or this thing that I just said, we can write it as a differential
equation.
Or you can write it as a matrices.
Yeah.
So that is the way we model. So you must have a fundamental knowledge of what's up. Like the work I'm doing here. There are two things I'm doing here. There is a work on but there are two diseases I'm really looking at. There's a disease on of course COVID, and then there's what we call West Nile virus that comes from bird that come from mosquito, to bird, and also mosquito. This West Nile infects birds, it also affects humans. And what I'm trying to do now is to introduce a human compartment. There's a lot of work on just between mosquito and birds. In fact, some works are even looking at it between mosquito and us. So there's what we call West Nile virus. So what are we trying to do here? We are trying to look at, like I told you in the data, we are trying to look at what is happening in Arizona. Arizona has different counties. We are trying to look at all these counties, how the data behave. And we want to come up with a model that will better predict when people are moving from maybe Maricopa to Grand Canyon. These are counties, these are different, we are trying to do what? We are trying to introduce movement. There's a movement. People fly from here to Chicago and all of that. So that's what we are trying to do. That's what we are trying to model. We are introducing movement into that people can move from Arizona here to Chicago and infect somebody. So those are in the modeling I'm trying to do now. That's what we are trying to. And we are also trying to put in place what we call geographic model. Geographic model is, taking into consideration the location. You understand?
And the differences between each
location in terms of population size, in terms of the demography and all of that. And also you can also introduce some climatic conditions. And say that the spread of the disease, because there is always a parameter that we introduce that talk about the transmission between the susceptible and the infected. So you can say that this transmission is seasonal. And of course, it has shown that sometimes during winter, COVID cases normally go up, and you can introduce those kind of factors. You can segregate what I'm talking about into age. Vaccination, the number of doses that we are giving people also depend on age. If you remember that, so we are taking Johnson, the elderly people, just one shot. And also the spread of the disease, in terms of the spread is more in the young people.
Because they're more active.
In the older people, it is more fatal. Because of their immune, they are not too, if older people get it, some of them die quickly, So all these factors, you can incorporate them and say, okay, this first part of the model is for people between the age of 0 and 18. You can divide them into what we call demographic, factors. factors. So all of this, you must have the understanding. And that's why sometimes you have to work with people that are in biology, medicine, public health, or sometimes you might not really work with them. Sometimes you can just go into literature, go and study. Before this is my first time of working on West Nile, what we call West Nile virus. Before I had to read about the disease.
The history of the disease.
How it spread. I was so curious. I was talking to my boss one day. I was so curious. Why is it that it is female? It is the female mosquito of this disease that we are looking at. It is because it's only the female that bites. If you don't have that knowledge, you must not include male in the model.
Just like
malaria. You can get disease. So when they don't bite, you can't get disease. So you must learn all this. So this is how we do modeling. As you are there now, there's a beam that is holding your building. That was what I modeled. As I'm looking at the beam here, that was what I modeled in my master's.
Interesting.
Looking at how a beam is connected. And there is an equation for that. And we look at the end-to-end connection in terms of inch-to-inch connection, free end to free end connection, and all of that. And this one was more applicable to civil engineering. And you were correct. It said most of the things that all other science use is the fundamentals.
The fundamental for everything is math and physics. Everything.
So you must have an understanding of how the building structures behave. If you want to, you can model
anything.
Flow. There's what we call fluid dynamics. It's a form of mathematical model. I did a lot of fluid dynamics. So there are equations for turbulence flow. So you must understand all these fundamentals. So there is nothing in this world that cannot be modeled. Recently, the paper, you will not see it on my profile, but in the next 1 or 2 months, you're going to see it. We model smoking. We model smoking. So it's just for you to understand what you want to model and then write an equation for.
See, what you're saying is this. Even if you go to university to study maths, right? There's a lot of different things you can use that maths to do. Okay? You must not be a lecturer. No. Okay? You can work in any field and help them model their work and make it easier for them to understand what is going on in their in that field. Okay, so there's a lot of work to do, and there's the need of mathematicians in Africa. We need them. So I'm begging you, young people, we need you to study maths.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we need you to study maths. All right. So, Kayode, see, with an understanding of maths, physics, and stats, we can explain or predict certain things. Okay. Such as you just mentioned population. Yeah, it's a big deal, and somehow, unfortunately, I don't know the data. See, I think this is my belief. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Back home, I don't know if we gather enough data or the right data, because if we don't have the data, you cannot model anything. Okay, so I think one of the challenges we have back home is data gathering. Okay, so what do you think about that?
Yeah, I know. I think twice I spoke on Star FM in Lagos. Online in one of the early morning programs, and they were asking me about data issue. This week You know, I told you I'm on break, so I'm doing many personal work that has been, some of the research that has been pending. I submitted a work on tuberculosis in East Africa.
Okay.
One of the limitations, when I was writing the conclusion of that work, one of the limitations I wrote was that the data was not so good. In the reporting of the data was so bad. You know, where you have 1,000 on the 21 of March, on the 22 of March, you have 0.
Yeah.
On the 23 of March, you have 5. Because the data was...
It's county. It's county.
It's just, we have to apply a statistical method to use a moving average to, you know, just to be able to remove some noise. And, you know, one of the issues we have in the country, in our continent or in general, is data. We don't keep data. There are very good data out there. America keep a very good data.
Yeah.
France has very good data. Israel.
Yeah. France in Europe, France is number 1.
Yeah.
They've been keeping data.
Israel, I am seeing. Israel has good, very good data.
Yeah.
Japan has very, very good data. These are data I've worked on. I have them. So very good data. But in Africa, maybe it's only Morocco that tried. Maybe only Morocco. So in Africa, we have very serious issue of data. And we need to really work on. You are correct. You cannot really model anything when you cannot infer, you know, because when you have data, you know now, when you get data, you do a plotting, you do a visualization, you do a what we call exploratory statistics.
Yeah.
What is this data saying? You do a kind of visualization and all of that. You know, so you cannot even make a very good suggestions, you know, come up with a good model that will be able to serve the people, that will be able to, you know, combat this public health menace without having good data. So I think we need to really work on that. Let's have a very good, there is nothing really to hide.
Yeah.
One of the problems we have is that we want to hide things.
I don't know why.
I'm one of the strong person that always encourage open science. Whenever I review a paper, I will tell the authors, release your codes, release your data. What are you hiding? Unless there is a privacy issue. If there's a privacy issue, when there are no privacy issue, why? That's out there, man. So there's not really anything you need to hide. Open your books. People should be able to reproduce your results.
Yeah.
People should be able to pick your paper and reproduce your results.
Yeah.
Anything you really need to hide. So these are the major issues. So we have a lot of. I've discussed this. I spoke a lot about it, you know, and I'm saying we are having a data issue in our country, which we really need to fix. Let's have a very strong data hub, a national.
And see,
hub you know,
because of this of the issue with limited data. See, I try to look at every challenge you have and try to find a few thousands of jobs. Okay, see, in this data issue, we can create tens of thousands of jobs just for young people to work with various departments in our countries, in Nigeria, in other African countries, to gather data. Okay. And that way we can build a function and train young people to as data analysts and other things. Everything that we lack at the moment, I see it as an opportunity for us to start something new, build something new. Okay, in the data area, we can improve drastically if we decide to do it, because there's a lot of work to be done. And we have a lot of young people who are, excuse me, this language, jobless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And hey, let's do it. Let's do it. I hope the people in charge have that desire to make things work. You know,
we hope so, because you cannot make good public health policy without data. You can't, in fact, let's forget about the math.
Yeah, let's forget the math. Yes.
Financial economic policy. You can't make it without.
You can't make any policy without data.
Without data. So,
see,
if you want to make good policy, not all this political and container policy. If you want to really make good policy, you need.
Yeah, it starts with data. Data, analyze it, and then we see the crux of the matter. Yeah, yeah. See, I made my my bones in banking in Nigeria over 16 years ago as a data analyst, and yeah, it was new to me, but that's when I understood that just looking at numbers, okay, of a function, even though I wasn't there when transactions happened, looking at the numbers over weeks and months, I can tell you exactly what went on in that department. It was wonderful, you know. Yeah, it also gave me the opportunity to sit down with leaders to analyze those data. So it was something interesting to me. So, in your view, what are the biggest concerns about Africa's development in general? Not focus on data or math.
We have leadership crisis. we have one of the problem we have is leadership. And let me tell you this: one of the that one is just a big problem. The biggest followership, because it's from the followers. From people always argue it. People always feel that national building
start with the leaders.
Start from the top.
No, I agree with you.
You want to make somebody the president, and you think that everything will change. You are deceiving yourself.
I agree.
You don't do that. It starts from bottom up. It's not up bottom. It's not up bottom.
Yeah.
Because we have a complex. Whenever I say complex, people argue. We have a very complex society.
Yes.
And sometimes you ask yourself, what do people really want? You can do everything. Build infrastructure, build this, and people will just tell you that you have not done anything. Because maybe a part of the economy or a part of the populace is suffering a particular thing. So we have a leadership problem we also have, because it's from the followers that our leaders also come out from. So we have this leadership and followership problem. And I think one of the ways we can go about it is that let all of us begin to do the right thing. Anywhere you are, if you're a secretary, do the right thing. If you're a teacher, do the right thing. If you're a local government chairman, do the right thing. Any small places that you are, do the right thing. Because that is where leadership starts from.
Yeah.
That is the flow. Look at our country. When there is fuel scarcity, there's a petrol station that doesn't increase our production, our pump price. I've forgotten the name again. I can't remember now. She will not. I've forgotten. When they're taking advantage of people, this petrol station around the country will never increase the pump price. Is that not doing the right thing?
Yeah.
Because she's not taking advantage of people. She doesn't want to take advantage of people because of the scarcity. Why do we have the scarcity in our country? a subsidized fuel. Some of them are landing in Benin Republic. They are landing in Cameroon. They're landing in UK. We are subsidizing for other countries.
Yeah.
But some people are smuggling this outside the country. So
yeah.
Let all of us, in our small way, anyway we find ourselves, the civil service, the most corrupt is the civil service in our country. But we don't want to, we thought that the political class are the most corrupt.
Yeah.
Anyway you find yourself, let's do the right thing. Across board, all this issue of sitting tight as African leaders, we don't need it. People we have built in Cameroon, the president has been there like forever. That is not how a country, we must, I know democracy cannot work for all. Have your own system of government, but let the voice of the people be heard. Yeah. Democracy cannot happen. Dubai, they are not doing democracy. They are doing monarchy, and they are fine. Everybody cannot do democracy. I agree with that. That democracy is not for everybody. Even if you want to have your own system of government, let the system of government still be. The UK that we are saying is democratic. One way or the other, it's just some few that appoint the prime minister now. It's not thrown open to the people. But one way or the other, they are still doing the right thing. So whatever form of government you want to come up with, let it be a form that the voice of the people will be heard, that it will enhance, unity and progress of the country.
Yeah.
It's not about sitting tight. Some people are born in Cameroon, they have not experienced any president in their life than this year.
Yeah.
So, we must, the African leaders must change their mentality. This expensive kind of government we are running, we need to put it aside and let's start investing in technology, we have the potentials, we have the land. We don't really have what we call natural disasters.
No.
That other people are facing. We have the human power, we have the capacity, we have the brain, we have the energy, we have the strength. What is lacking is the willpower, the leadership.
Yeah.
So do the right thing.
Yeah. And that leadership starts from the bottom.
It starts from the bottom.
Yeah.
It's not from the top. It starts from the home.
Yeah.
It starts from the home. From the home. When you are taking your child to a special center, it's a bad leadership. You're already teaching the child how to cut corners.
Yeah.
When you go to your student in the university and you are looking for a way, to get admission and all of that. And when the child does not even meet the cutoff, you are looking for a way to you're already embedding in that child that hard work doesn't pay.
Yeah.
Hard work pays. I'm here today because of hard work.
Yeah.
God's grace, of course. God is the giver of everything. So we must imbibe into our young people that hard work pays. And that's why we are having a lot of social vices around us. A lot. Because the home has failed in leadership.
Yeah.
Because the home
you're correct.
It's a small place, it's a small part. That is where. And like I always say, religion, tribal issues, they should take this sit at home. It shouldn't be in our public service, in our public space, in leadership. All this religion thing should be put in the family.
Yeah, it's a private thing.
It's a private thing.
Yeah.
Let's teach our child, this is the way of God. Take them to church. At home, have your fellowship. Teach them your culture. It should be at home. It should not be in public space. What we should be looking at in public space, in leadership, is competence. People that are ready to serve. People that are ready to do the right thing. Yeah. And if we have all of this in Africa, we have, I will always say, we have the potentials. We are doing amazing well all over the world.
All over the world.
And when we are doing amazing well, when you look back into your own country, it's shit. Shit. There's nothing to show for it. So we are just there doing, people are sitting tight, planning coup across Africa. The only country that has been very stable is Nigeria and maybe South Africa or so. Yeah. And also maybe Ghana, yeah. All others, they plan coup, it's much of instability. And that's not making us. And we need to, before we end this broadcast, we need to address this issue. we are making life difficult for ourselves as Africans.
Yeah, we are.
In Nigeria, want to go to Zimbabwe, we have difficulties to get the visa than in Nigeria going to the United States.
Yeah.
Or in Nigeria going to the UK. Flight from I flew from Lagos to Douala. I spent more than 300,000. If I had just about 100,000, I would fly to the UK or France. Just for you to fly within Africa, it's a whole lot of mess. Visa within Africa is a whole lot of mess.
Yeah.
Let's remove all these hiccups among us. We are Africans. We are Africans. We need to really address this. Let there be a kind of cultural exchange, goods and services, economic exchange. And all of that. So that we can develop, we can go together. I know there are security concerns.
Yes.
But we can manage all of this. I know there are migration concerns, because if like South Africa open up too much,
everybody will go there.
A lot of Nigeria might move there. If not because of all these some phobia issues and all of that, that's making people to draw back. I know a lot of people want to move. I understand this migration, security issues, but we can manage it and remove all these bottlenecks of visa, of doing businesses together. That's
what
a lot of people see. Nigeria and South Africa are straight. We know Kenyans are straight. We are not straight to each other. We can flourish and grow together. So I think you two, as the host, please, you need to buttress on this point.
No, we talk about it all the time. We talk about it all the time. See, there's a political angle to sort out. Okay, there's a political angle, there's an economic angle to sort out. As individuals travel across Africa, we all hope that the political angles will be sorted out by our political leaders, and that's where we ask ourselves the questions: are they really interested in sorting these things out? So let's hope the African free trade area will improve some of these things, but also the transport infrastructure needs to be improved. Because of the lack of infrastructure, it's easier to go to Europe, from Nigeria to Europe and then back to another African country, rather than going directly from Nigeria to that country. So those bottlenecks in terms of infrastructure need to be sorted out. Yeah. So what is your advice to young Africans to help them contribute their quota to the development of their communities?
This is an Ecology boy. I grew up, I spent most of my life. I spent how many years outside the country? I always tell people, I said, I don't think the years I've spent in Nigeria I can spend outside the country. Yeah. Before I left, I've spent more than 30 years in the country. So
yeah,
I grew up in Ecology, and
I went to
a public school. And I am today. I went to one of the most notorious schools in Ecology. When I tell people I'm the senior prefect in 2005, they're always shocked. So, and I am today. It means that our dreams are valid. And when you are focused, when you also put God first. I don't have problem with if you are atheist, but just know that there is God somewhere. And your dreams are valid. Be focused. Be focused. put in the work.
Yeah.
There's a work you need to put into. Our host today, you didn't get there just by folding on once. So you must put in the hard work. You must put in the work. And while you are doing that, too, you must remain focused on the goal where you are really going to, and and ensure that you are going to face a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Before I got the job I got in the US, I know how many applications I faced. So you just need one yes. You will get a lot of rejection. The reason why my PhD was late, I wanted to get my PhD before 30, because I got my master's at 27. So I said, I want that PhD is 3 years, I have to get it. But because I had this vision that I want to have a degree outside the country, I kept on applying. I started the PhD in Nigeria. In fact, I started in 2 schools. As 4 of us started in Unilab, I didn't like it, I left. I went back to Unilab, I did my master's. I was making a lot of progress and the scholarship came out. So keep applying. My philosophy is apply to those things. In fact, apply to the big ones. If you go to Harvard, apply there, you can get it. MIT, apply. Don't limit yourself. I was telling somebody today. Shoot that big guns. Don't big guns. Go for it. Don't limit yourself because you are limitless.
Yeah.
So you must continue to the young people. You must continue to to push, and don't be pressured. Don't be pressured. Don't be pressured. A lot of things around you. You say, "Oh, you are getting older." Yeah. There's no time. You cannot achieve what you wanted to achieve.
Yeah.
I got my PhD after I wanted 30 and I got at 34. So 4 years doesn't mean that I failed. Doesn't mean that I've lost time. In fact, I got more, I was able to get this kind of speed, and I moved very, very fast in it because it was my time. There's always a time. There's always a time. But don't just think that time will come without you. Like I always tell people, sir, if you don't apply to a place, they won't call you.
No.
So apply. If you don't apply, they won't call you.
Yeah.
So even if you get rejection at the end of the day, you got the rejection because
you applied.
Yeah. You applied.
Yeah.
So don't let any. There will be a lot of, because a lot of people are always discouraged with, because there's a lot of people I mentor, and when they get 10, 5 rejection, somebody was telling me yesterday, I said, when the person was talking to me 2-3 days ago, I said, I woke up with 3 rejections. So what are you saying? And I have a PhD. I woke up because, as a PhD holder, I want to, I still have some vision.
Yeah. You want to go higher. Yeah.
I'm still sitting on. I woke up with 3 rejections. We always, I told you, I said, you always see me post, we always come out to tell you the good news. We will not tell you those things.
Yes, that's what you don't understand. Eh?
You don't understand. There are a lot of failures. When you see somebody smiling, there are a lot of cries.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there will be times that you'll be down. You'll be, you say you are trying, but don't be discouraged. You'll get there. You'll get there. Just keep trying. Please continue to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And let us come together. Our country, our continent is going to be us. No matter where we go to, I know there's a Japa pandemic. No matter where we go to, our home will still be our home.
Yeah.
Sir, we need to tell us, to remind ourselves this. When the Ukraine thing happened, nobody believed it. Sir, people came back home with 0.
Yeah.
That means that our home will always be where we will fall back at. So if we have spoiled everything, we have destroyed, and when people are calling for war in our country, when this war comes, it will touch everybody, home and abroad.
Yeah.
So when the Ukraine crisis came and people were repatriated back to their home, if they don't have anything to fall back, if Nigeria is not standing, or if Kenya is not standing, where are they going to?
Yeah.
So home will always be home. No matter where we go to, we will continue to carry that identity. Even if we get another passport, we get another citizen. We'll still carry that Black identity. We'll still carry that we are Nigerian American, you are Nigerian Australian, you are Nigerian Canadian. So we always have it.
Yeah.
So let us keep doing things that will build our home, our country, and let's keep doing it. Those of you that want to study math, don't let anybody discourage you. I did math and I've traveled the world.
That's it.
I've been to 4 continents and I'm still traveling. And my dream is to visit all the continents in this one. So, and I've been to more than, if I'm to count, maybe almost 15 countries.
Wow.
So you must continue to,
on top of maths.
Yeah, on maths. And these are maths. When I went to Australia, this is math. When I was in UK, I was in Oxford for some time. It is math that took me there. I was in Bielefeld, Germany. It is math that brought me to the United States. And so when I went to Switzerland, when I went to Netherlands, it's maths everywhere. Italy, maths. So if you want to study mathematics, if you want to study STEM, science, technology, and math, you continue to do it. Don't let anybody tell you that you're just going to be a teacher. You're just going to add value to yourself. There's this thing. PhD doesn't really add value to you. It's a degree. You must add value to that your PhD. You forget about first class, sir. I just told you now. I know you're surprised. I did have first class in my first degree. Look at where I've been to. So you must add value to that your degree. Some first class have not been to where I've been to. It's not by being proud. So you must add value. You must make sure that you become a person of value. Yeah. So no matter how your BSc, MSc, well, you must be a man of value so that you can be called. You can be called. You can be, who can invite you to somewhere, come and give a talk, and put you on a flight, there's nowhere I've been to. They are sponsoring it. Yeah. Spend money. Unless when you see me in a plane, it's being sponsored. Unless I'm going just for a vacation private thing. When you see me flying, it's being sponsored. When you see me now, it's being sponsored. So you can live that kind of life. So don't limit yourself. And the sky is just the beginning. Yes.
Wow, it's been an interesting conversation. Thank you very much. So Kayode, for us to close this up, tell me, what is your vision for Africa in the next 30 years?
In the next 30 years, I'll be in my 60s, so I'll be old. And
I'll be 80.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'll be old. By then, I don't want to be in this cold again. I want to be back home. I'll be eating local food as an elderly person and be home. And maybe be a professor, a visiting professor somewhere, and still be teaching the younger ones, I want to see, in 30 years, I want to see a continent where people really want to visit, where people want to really invest, and where people really want to stay.
Yeah.
That's the kind of where we'll be seen really as giants that we are. That's the kind of vision I want to see. I want to see our education system being transformed. Migration is normal. Sir,
it's normal.
Where you are, you have seen an American there. It's not that America is not good. You have seen a Chinese there. It's not that China is not good. For you to go to other places to go and learn is good. Yeah. It's not a bad thing. But it must not turn to a survivor thing. Yeah. If you say an American in Australia, I was in a plane when I was going to Sydney. I met an American. She has said she's living there. It's not about survivor for her. You understand? It's just, I want to leave my country. I just want to, pursue my thing. So we must not leave our African country as a means of, survival. So I want to really see that giant in us, a country that is flourishing, a continent that, we have good roads, we have good infrastructure, our education system is good, our science is good, our engineering is good, the technology aspect is sound, and people really want to come and invest, people really want to come and, stay in the continent. So and having good leaders across board, start doing things in the right way, and all these security issues that we are facing should be phased out, We are facing a lot of ISIS, jihadis, and Boko Haram, and all of that, I really wish those things should have phased out in the next 30 years, where we have a kind of stability in governance, in economy and all of that. So that's my kind of vision for Africa, and it's all of us that we can do it.
Yes.
Make sure
Yes.
that it comes to reality.
We all have a role, okay, to play for us, for Africa to be the continent that we all want it to be. And I believe that young Africans will do that. Okay. And that's part of what I'm doing. I wish I was in Africa, but I have a reason why I'm here. But with this podcast, I'll be in Africa very, very, very soon. And in the next few years, I'll be spending at least 6 months a year in Africa.
Wow,
you know, yeah, because like you said, Africa needs to be developed, and we all are responsible for that development. So, Kayode, thank you very much as a great guest of the Think Big for Africa podcast.
Thank you very much, and I look forward. I think you'll send me the link when you post it.
Oh yeah. We'll be there very soon. Very soon. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.